Briar Earth by Tapp, Chapter 1, Not Even in the Name of the Queen. Far to the north, from an ancient balcony, the ghostly figure of a young woman held her face to the heavens and demanded a mischief of a scatty moon. Lost light, to your duty go, lose the bird to wind and snow. As if Carrie needed the burden of a wind-born curse, the storming all about would be enough to bring the resolve of anything under wing at this time undone. Why at this hour have I been dispatched? How cruel to throw me to the wind! I share the twilight with nothing feathered. The heavens' evening tosses naught but bats and Carrie. She slipped through the turbulence as a silver dart flashing in the moonlight, and its shadow, dread filled at the whisperings of self-doubt in her mind. Most other pigeons would by now have given up and sought shelter. "O vile tempest," called Carrie, in defiance to the storming night, "I fear not the fickle wind." "Fickle, you say, mere dove, fickle indeed," shrieked Polar Wind. "Ye are but one straw." "Straw, you say? I am lance, I am arrow, I am spear." "Then I shall spear thee into the trees that flail in terror of my might. I shall drive thee to earth," shrieked Polar Wind. "I fear thee not." "Dare he, the mere dove, to fly against my command of the wintered sky?" She I am," Carrie mocked. "What cock would be sent on such a mission at such time?" Her words snatched by the fierce and freezing polar breath and silenced as thought. "'Tis I and only I, Carrie, selected to deliver, and I shall deliver. Do your worst, Polar Wind. Royal mail, I shall not fail." "Royal rubbish! Fickle royal rubbish, you Carrie lass! I have blown royal ships hither and thither at my whim. I have destroyed the greatest plans of the greatest kings and queens, and they quiver at my presence and beseech the gods to quiet me. I have sent to watery graves and craggy reef, then blow down the royal loft where sits my love in comfort and a cooing with feathered fiends in my absence. Cast he whom I now hate into your world of misery and cold. You defy me, my majestic. Majestic? You are but majestic misery," Carrie again taunted her tormentor, "and despised by all, and have been for all time, and will be for all time. Cold and heartless, hated and hating, to the very end, defiant. There is but one majesty, and I have known the comfort of her caressing. I am her chosen messenger. Her warmth is nothing ye shall know while ever shines the sun unlorded over 'em. Now shush, Polar Wind, I am navigating." And yet the confidence of the royal carrier was as much windblown as her frail body. Carrie's plight was serious, and she knew it. She should never have diverted to Briar Earth, hoping to be the first with the news of the arrival of the gab fox cubs. Now nightfall was upon her, and the storm worsening. Wind shear must soon cripple her wings, and she would fail and fall, broken and frozen from her mission. Night had called early, light was gone. Her flight path was mere instinct, her destination near. But what difference even should it be just 100 flaps? As the light had failed her, so too would her tiny heart. Carrie was flying blind, and even her hatred of failure could not save her. Yet she would not call upon Polar Wind for mercy, not even in the name of the Queen. And then, suddenly, she heard it. A real voice, not those of her own mind, where she often talked or even yelled to herself on tedious and often terrifying journeys, where at any time the dreaded Robbie McBlack Cheeky might strike. Out of the darkness it came, needle sharp. "You! Who flies there?" Carrie's heart leapt to the moon, flashing through cloudbursts. "Who speaks and from where? Do not... Who but the bat flies in such dim light on such evil night? Who speaks from the darkness? Who?" "'Tis I, Batica Erratica." "Stay clear. I'm the royal carrier. Do not interfere with the royal mail." "Your altitude is worse than your attitude. You are too low, nor authorized for night flight." This was all the courageous messenger needed, an in-flight caution from a bat. "Royal carrier," the piercing voice called, "from your heading ye have strayed." "What know you of my heading?" "Confirm your heading, brave bird." "'Tis top secret. 'Tis Manor Grey Loft." "Follow me, follow. Ascend." Ascend! Now! Carrie obeyed the trusted voice and felt the harsh slap of leaf at her underbelly. Oh, no! Her voice conveyed her fate. Never had she been so hit, so hurt, so lost, so confused, and so afraid. Nor had she ever so tumbled. Never. This surely was her end. Brace thy wings, wee lass! Brace! Polar wind, you torment me to my last. Up, wee lassie, up! The abrupt updraft demanded from Carrie a brace wingfold, and amongst a maelstrom of torn leaf and sleet, she was catapulted to safety beyond the ghostly and wildly swinging forest below. Follow me, the sharp voice called. Follow me! I cannot follow a bat. I cannot, Batica erratica. A sudden pulse of light illuminated the night, flashed, and passed into the darkness beyond them. Ah, I am blinded! My night vision gone! Treachery flies with you this night. Alter course, 25 degrees. I cannot. I must trust my instincts. Then trust mine, brave bird. A second voice? Change course, or you will surely fail your noble mission. Who? 'Tis I, Veronica Platonica. You must alter course. You must. We insist. Who else orders me from dark cover? 'Tis I, Batica Emphatica. Change course now. Carrie obeyed. She had no options. Yes, keep the heading. Change it not. You are almost there. Do not despair. We must away. And the voices were gone, as though they were only of her clouded mind. But Carrie was all right now. Thank you, Batica erratica. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you, Emphatica. Your kindness will reach royal ears. Carrie called into the darkness to her mysterious escorts. There was no reply. Polar wind, too, had gone quiet, and she wondered at his sudden turn of goodness. Had he not lifted her from the thrashing trees, she'd be a dead dove. And whose fault, really? Never should she have been sent out in such frightful conditions. She should have refused, just flown back like so many others. Then again, that's why she was the royal carrier. Perhaps Polar was mere torment to keep her brave and committed. Perhaps he was more friend than foe. Soon he would be gone until next winter, and she had to admit she would miss the sheer challenge. Bye, Polar, she said to the air. At Manor Grey, a huge man braced himself against the bitter wind as he left a storm-battered barn. Hunched with the collar of his coat pulled to protect his face, he struggled to hold a flickering lamp and pushed a door against the buffeting wind. I'll be coming and going in the night, he shouted to a hound. Get your nose away from the door, run 'em down. Do you want your little babies to be born to a daddy with his bugle chopped off? Go on, get back to your wife, and get that worried little look off your face. Be my gosh. But the hound, run 'em down, ignored the order to stay in the comfort zone of the barn. His second master had made the mistake of saying loft, and loft was much better than barn at this time. Run 'em down lifted a frantic paw to the door, in rapid tapping, glancing desperately into the covered face of his second master. Stay here with your wife. I'll be coming straight back. Now stay. But Podge needed both hands to hold the door, and the hound made a break for it. We'll be back in a wink, Kalutra. Don't go worrying now. Come on then, boy. Down to the loft. Yeah, watch your manners. Run 'em down scurried through the door urgently in case Podge changed his mind. Outside, he squinted to protect his face against the fury that hurled splinters of ice at him, pausing with indecision in the light of a high-held lamp. You wanted to come, scallywag. Come on, lead the way. It'll take your mind off being a daddy. Can't see a damn thing with this old light. Can you see anything? A sudden flood of light illuminated from the manor porch as their passing brought a door open and a robust shout into the wind. Is it you, Podge, my good man? Hey, sure be your worship. Podge and run 'em down. Only Podge and a pooch go out in such a devil of a night. Passed you by here earlier with your lamp. Once be enough for me, your worship. Surely 'tis too dark now for an arrival. They'll send the best bird. I won't give up on her, your worship. If she ain't in by now, boomagosh, she'll need the lamp. There's slim chance of any bird getting through this, Podge, my good man. She's either in shelter or dead, the poor creature. I won't give her up for dead, sir. She's a good un, that un. Well, take care there, man, the message said. She was coming, but the storm may have changed their mind. It's worth one more checking, master. I've seen this little fellow flying backwards, Podge called back to a hearty laughter from the porch. Well, she has no more than a minute or two at the best. Bring the message to me should it arrive. God forbid, it must be important. She'll make it, your worship, be my gosh. Just in the nick of time she'll make it. Podge called as he turned for the uphill leg to the loft, now lost to the twilight's end. How fares Kalutra, good man? Reckon we'll all be daddies by the morganing, your honor. Podge called loudly as yet another burst of icy splinters sent his large face to the cover of his coat. That's if we can survive this devil of a night, the master called back before retreating inside. But his words were lost in the wind, and his servant deaf to anything but his own trudging feet in the cruel twilight.